Thanks, Michael. Hi, Anthony. Thank you for doing this, first of all. Two questions, if I may. Um, First of all, you've played all three of these opponents once in qualifying already. I'm just curious how that may or may not help you in these upcoming games. And secondly, the weather's obviously a big talking point. As a guy that didn't grow up in North America, and hasn't experienced January and February in places like Canada and Minnesota, I'm just curious, how much you're thinking about what the conditions are going to be like and how you expect them to affect you. Thank you.
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, we've played everyone before. So, well, obviously, when we're going into the analysis and stuff, we'll already have some video to look at and analysis to go off, sort of the tactics we're going to do, and it'll help us through the week, building up to how we want to play and how we want to take advantage of the weaknesses that we find in the team. But ultimately, it's going to be mostly down to our preparation and how we want to play and how we're going to um, you know, deal with like the weather and stuff like that. Which, it's something I think everyone's looking forward to. Like growing up in England, I'm not a stranger to snow. It kind of takes me back to when I was young. I remember, Boxing Day was a big thing in my Sunday league team. We used to play dads versus lads, so all the sons would be playing against the dads at snowy pitch, and that's some of the happiest football I've ever played. So taking it back to that, it's going to be something to enjoy. I've not played on snow in a long time, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I think a lot of the lads are going to embrace the conditions.
Next will be Paul Tenorio from The Athletic.
Hey, Anthony, like you said, you guys do know these opponents, but you might be seeing a different type of El Salvador approach against you guys than when you're on the road in El Salvador. How much have you guys talked about kind of breaking down a team that may sit a little bit deeper, and is that what you're expecting out of El Salvador and Honduras on the road playing against you guys versus when you were going down to Central America and playing against them? Thank you.
Yeah, so obviously it'll be different for the guys who, they've been in January camp and things, but I've literally just got here yesterday, been on recovery today, so I haven't really done much talking tactically, like me and the other boys who've just come in from Europe today, in terms of how El Salvador are going to play. But, obviously we're playing at home, we're assuming they're going to come, they're going to be quite conservative, defensive, and they're just going to try and get as many points out of the game as possible. And it's going to be something that we're going to have to be patient with, and we're going to have to try and break them down and let our quality show on the field. It's something we're looking forward to, but I think as long as we prepare right for the game, it doesn't matter how it's going to go. I feel personally we've got the stronger team, so we just have to show that when we go out and play.
Next will be Ivis Galarcep from SBI Soccer.
Anthony, you're playing the same three teams you played in September, and obviously it's a much different level of confidence in this group now than then, when you were a lot of the group was going through qualifying for the first time. Do you get that sense? I know it's only been a couple of days in camp, but do you get that sense of how much more comfortable the group is, having gone through so many matches already in qualifying? And the second one for you're having a breakout season in terms of attacking production. Where do you see your game having improved the most, or what do you see different in your game now in terms of why your attacking quality has improved so much?
Yeah, I think obviously a lot of lads have got a lot of experience with the qualifiers now compared to when we first started. I know it was my first qualifier, in that first window, and it's the same case with a lot of the boys. So now, the pressure's a bit less than it was before. We're obviously in a decent position in the group, and this next game is, it's our most important game. It's the next one we're going to play. So I think the lads will be, really confident to show what we can do and go out and try and get the win. And then in terms of me, like you said, obviously, I've always seen myself as an attacking fullback, and this season, thankfully, I've been a bit more productive in terms of goals and assists and stuff. And I don't really put it down to anything changing. I think, especially at club level, just the style of play we've been playing, it's allowed me to get involved a little bit more. And then that's translated a little bit with the US as well, since we do play sort of similar style. So, just long may it continue. I hope I keep getting involved in goals and assists and helping the team out.
Next, we'll go to Brian Sciaretta from American Soccer Now.
Well, thank you, Michael. Just want to build off of what Ivis just asked. Your form right now is excellent, but particularly also your team. Discuss what's going on with Fulham. You've been scoring goal after goal after goal at the club level, and how much does that affect your ability, and how much does that carry over to the full national team when you're in a mindset like that, when the goals are coming easily? for your club, like how, maybe not easily, but how does it translate over to what we can expect from you in the games ahead?
Yeah, so we went through a little bit of a weird period, like November, December time, where there was a few injuries, a lot of illness, including myself, where we weren't getting the results that we wanted, and then we had a long break after playing Sheffield. It was from like December 20th till January 11th was our next league game. So I think a lot of the lads were just really eager to get back on the pitch and sort of turn results right. We had a lot of time to prepare, a lot of time to rest for a lot of the boys who needed it as well, and I think that's translated with the results. Like, we've been doing really well. Everyone's been really confident, playing well, and then carrying over to the national team. Obviously, scoring a lot of goals at club level feels good, and I've touched on this before. Just playing for a team. Obviously, the expectations are different with the league we're in at the moment, but playing in a winning team that goes out and feels like they should be winning every game and dominating every game, you do have a different mindset, and it's definitely a confidence booster that you feel confident in the other lads around you and yourself. And that is similar to how I feel with the US, because I back the team that we have against any other team that we're going to play against. So the confidence I have in everyone else and myself on the pitch is a lot higher.
Next will be Ryan Tomich from Goal.com.
Hey, Anthony, just kind of piggybacking off that again, it's not just that you guys have been winning games and scoring goals, but also in the recent weeks, you've kind of been winning games in different ways, and that you've had those games where you've had possession and you've scored lots of goals and you've created things, but you've also had those games. I think your last game against Stoke, you guys had to kind of grind things out, and you had a cup game where you had to grind things out and do some different things, and that's kind of how it works in CONCACAF too. So how does that kind of help going through the championship, where you're not just going to have all this possession every game, or sometimes you will, or sometimes you won't? How does that kind of prepare you for what's going to be going on in these games, especially with the different types of ones you'll be forced to play here?
Yeah, that sort of mindset, like you said, going into games and being able to adapt and play differently in terms of the situation that's in front of you. Obviously, like I've said before, the conditions, they're going to be difficult for both teams. So it might not end up being the prettiest game of football. It could end up being a grind, and that's where you've got to sort of just switch your mentality over to I just want to grind it and I want it more than the other team. Club level, it's definitely been different games. Obviously, we had the game against Reading where it was just a really comfy game. Sort of every attack we went on felt like it was going to be a goal, but then we go against Bristol, and it's the first time this season that we've went behind in a game and ended up winning, and we had to do the same against Stoke. And getting that experience of being able to go behind, just like we did against Honduras, going behind and then coming back and winning games, it gives you confidence going into the next game that you might not. It might not be the prettiest, you might not be winning straight away, it might not be an easy ride, but you can still come out of the game with a win.
Next will be Jerry Zagota from the Star Tribune.
Good afternoon. Obviously, when they picked the sites for Columbus and Minnesota, they did so with the home field advantage. When you go to the Caribbean or Central American countries with the heat and humidity, do you consider that an advantage for them?
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose there's a lot of lads who don't play in them conditions very often, so you can see why another team, it might give them a bit of an advantage playing in sort of conditions that they're used to and that we're not used to. Obviously, they've got their home fans. When we played El Salvador away last time, their fans, they were brilliant. It was really good atmosphere, so that definitely helped them in that game. So bringing it back over here, I'm sure that we'll have the home crowd advantage. The conditions are going to be something that the opponent's not going to be used to, and we're just going to have to embrace that and try and make the most of the advantage that hopefully it gives us.
Next will be Charles Bone from MLSsoccer.com.
Anthony, thanks for your time today. It appears that you're the only specialist left back on the roster, and Greg Berhalter said on Friday that he thinks that you guys in your position might be able to play all three matches in this upcoming week. What's your view on that? Do you feel like you're able to take that volume in the midst of the busy season, and do you see that as something maybe we could see across the squad as well?
Yeah, I think you'll see with a lot of boys that they've been going through having to play, sort of a kind of congested period. Obviously, we've had a lot of games rescheduled, so I think I played something like 4 games in 10 or 11 days. So I don't see it as an issue if I end up having to play 3 games in a row. That's what I mean. Every time I come to camp, I want to play every single game. So hopefully that gets to be the chance. But everyone's ready to fill in at other spots. Obviously Serginho's played left back before. And stuff like that. So I think anyone will fill in where needed. But I mean, I hope it's the case I get to play all three. I'm definitely ready for it if it comes, and I think everyone is chomping at the bit to play as many games as they can.
We'll go to Matt Pence.
Hey, Anthony, I've asked a couple different guys how they deal with criticism online and on social media. I was just curious for you how you kind of handle that noise and whether that's kind of evolved over the course of your career here.
I think it's just, a lot of people who criticize you online, whether someone tags you in something and you end up seeing it, things like that, or your friends end up showing you stuff. It could be the case with anything, but it's just, having the confidence in yourself to just say, look, like, these people, they see the 10% of my working week where I'm out on the pitch, and that's it. They don't see, the illness that you've had. They don't see the injury that you're playing through. They don't see any of the sort of background stuff that you're going through. They only see like a little glimpse of it. So every fan's entitled to their opinion, but you've just got to, appreciate that most of the time their opinions aren't completely valid based on, what goes on in the 24 hours of a day versus the 2 hours on a pitch that they see. But yeah, that's basically it. That's how I see it anyway.
Next will be Brenda Alvarado from Fox Sports Mexico.
I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. So, hi, Anthony. Nice to say hello to you. Brenda Alvarado from Fox Sports Mexico. What are you guys think that you are doing differently, like from the other teams of CONCACAF? That are you guys exporting more guys to your local league, like from the MLS to Europe? Thank you.
Yeah, I'd say a lot. There's, like some of the most competitive leagues in the world are in Europe, so that's why a lot of the young, hungry players that we've got, the talented players, they want to evolve the next stage of their career and they want to break out from the MLS to go over to Europe. And that's the dream for every player, whether it's playing Premier League, whether it's playing Champions League. That's the sort of goals that these lads are setting when they leave the MLS to go to Europe and obviously developing as players. That's why we have such a talented squad that we do today, and hopefully it continues. Hopefully more lads end up developing, whether it's in the MLS or they do have to go abroad to get that better development for themselves, and the team just keeps getting stronger and stronger.